Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jonan Kandwanaho is my name. I'm back again. I usually live stream every Friday from 5:30 to 6. And we've been tackling a number of topics. I've been sharing and discussing. Yes, as I said, my name is Jonan Kandwanaho, and I am Managing Director at Jonaki Holdings Limited. I also dabble as a marketplace champion or pastor at King Church. I have passion for business, and by God's grace, I've been doing business for some time. And today's topic is strategies or how to pay for your debts. Strategies on how to pay for your debts, or strategies for debt repayment or debt payment. So you could be having a loan, or you could be having some few debts here and there at a personal level or as a business, but you're wondering how to do the payment, what to prioritize, what to consider first. There are some things you have to consider first before you know which loan to start with if you have more than one loan facility. If you have more than one loan facility. So I want to start right away since time is fast spent. Given the situation as of now, COVID-19 and the lockdowns and all that, there has been a strain on businesses. There has been a strain at a personal level. There has been a strain all over the world. Meaning that if you have a loan, paying back is a little challenging to most. And also, if you don't have a loan, if you're not indebted in any way, you're about to get a loan. If you're not about, you intend or you have a plan to get a loan at a later stage. Because at a business level, much of the growth has been registered when people get some facilities somewhere. So it's inevitable in one or the other. You can't be self-sufficient unless you do not want to grow. And just like one analogy that was said, that as the poor bring the money to the bank, the rich are taking away the money. Meaning that if I come to the bank to get a loan at 20% per annum interest rate, and I have a venture where I can invest and I get over 30 or 50% per annum, then why not take that money? Why not take that money? So if you have to grow, if you have to progress, you have to have some bit of a loan, or you have to have some bit of a debt. However, there are other categories of loans or debts that are not advisable. Just like I shared when I was introducing, you could be having a personal issue, a challenge, and you need some money from a colleague, some money from a bank, some money from any financial institution like money lenders. Now, challenge comes if you want the money at a personal level. And the money you're getting is for you to consume. That's the challenge. Getting money, getting a loan from a money lender or any financial institution to spend on yourself is dangerous. Now you might be there asking, but Jonan, what if I'm there and I'm stuck? I can't afford rent. I don't have what to eat and drink. I'm stuck. So the only way out is to call a colleague and get money from them. Granted, but that's not an ultimate solution for that. It's not the ultimate. You will temporarily solve the problem because at the end of the day, you spend that money and you'll be back to zero. You'll be back to zero. Whether you're given 100 million in form of a loan from a friend or from a bank or from any financial institution, you'll still spend that money if it's not for investment, and it will get depleted and you'll need more money. So getting money from a bank or from a colleague to spend on yourself is not sustainable, is not advisable, and it is very bad and dangerous. It is very bad and dangerous. Whether at low interest rate, whether at high interest rate, it is very, very bad. So in that case, you might be asking yourself, if I earn very little money, I've always advised my colleagues, there are two ways through which you can thrive, like live normally in the area of finances. You either increase your income or you reduce on your expenditure. But for the genius of the hand, you can do both. Increase your income, reduce on your expenditure, and then you accumulate wealth. So if you have a debt or you intend to get a loan, make sure that you understand, and that's why I'm sharing even now, that it's not a sustainable way of thriving as a person at an individual level. It's not the right way. So meaning that there will be something wrong. There's something wrong that is happening in your life, but you're not realizing it. So in this case, what do I advise? I advise at an individual level. I've shared before on budget. I've shared before on income streams. I've shared before on investment. Look up my videos on YouTube or my Facebook page. You learn one or two things on how you can maneuver. But for now, the key points I can note, if you're going through a tricky situation because of COVID-19 and you actually earn little money, it is plausible for you that you either reduce on your expenditure or increase your income. But if you want to benefit more and get wealthy, then you need to use the genius of the ant, meaning that you can live on less or within your means, within the budget that you've set across, and then shoot up your income streams. That's the way to go. And then there is this category of us or of people that get money or get loans to thrive in business. Just like I shared, if I have a venture that can give me 60% return on investment per year, why would I not get money at 12% return on investment per year, or adding interest at an interest rate of 12%? There's no reason as to why I shouldn't get that money, because I will afford. The only thing I have to do is to invest in an area I'm versed with, I understand very well. That will reduce on the risks involved in that business. Meaning that the percentage I'm stating, the 60 or 50 of the investment I'm going to invest, the venture I'm going to invest in, is not speculated. I vividly know it. And that's why it's usually advisable that you invest in a business that is already thriving. Don't borrow for the very first time to start a business, more so a business that you do not have experience in. You have never started it and it failed, you don't have any experience in the area, you're starting newly and you want to borrow and invest wholesomely all the money you borrowed into that venture. It is lethal. So it's only the business that you've tested, that you've interacted with before, that you can actually ably know you can borrow against, because you'll be aware of its return on investment. Meaning that you can get money from Jonaki Holdings Limited. I have a money lending institution at maybe 10% per month, and perhaps your venture has returns of over 50% or 30% per month. You'll have good justification because you'll have hands-on experience, you'll be knowledgeable in the area, and you'll be understanding where to invest it. Meaning the chances of losing that money are very, very minimal. Are very, very minimal. So you do not borrow to invest in a venture you do not understand very well. And then two is that some people, just because he wants to have something for the sake of having it, be it land, just because they want to know that, amongst my colleagues, I want to brag off and show off that, I have land in Kampala. I borrow or I get money from a bank or a financial institution at a higher rate. I invest in land that has less return on investment. That is dangerous. You cannot borrow at 24% per annum and then you buy land that appreciates at maybe 10% per annum or 9% and buy something that actually does not appreciate just because you want to know that you have that property. It doesn't add up. Yes, you could have the land, but what you're paying is much more than actually what you're benefiting in the land appreciating. It's not commensurate. So it's plausible that you do the math before you borrow to finance that business. It is always advisable that you only can borrow to finance an institution or a business that is already thriving and whose return on investment you're already aware of. Now, getting to the gist of the matter, just like I shared above, you could be having more than one loan or a lineup of debts to pay. And you're asking yourself, how do I approach this? In addition to the above I shared, there are some better methods that you can actually use to knock off the debts gradually. Gradually. Heard of a case where someone gets money from you and all of a sudden, when the time comes for him or her to pay, starts switching off the phone, making your phone busy, not picking your calls. That is very bad. You wouldn't want to be in that state. Pick up the person, even if it means meeting up. You have to defend your integrity. You have to defend your word. You have to improve on your credit rating. Because you do not know what tomorrow holds for you. That person you're fearing is a person just like you. So pick up the call, meet up the person, discuss the things, and see how you can actually pay up. So if you're in that state, this will benefit you a lot. First of all, don't hide away from the person whom you're indebted to or the financial institution. Be it a bank, be it a money lending institution, don't hide away. People have done businesses, people understand, and institutions also understand. Sit down, work out a way. And in such a way, you'll defend your integrity, but also you improve on your credit rating. Meaning that next time, if you have a venture that requires maybe $1 billion, it will not be very hard for the bank or a financial institution to support you. But you might hide away on maybe 50 million and deny yourself a chance of benefiting on $1 billion or 20 billion shillings, a loan facility of that capacity, of that magnitude. So it's good to think long term. It's good to think long term. So if you have a list of maybe loans that you actually have to clear up, one of the strategies you can actually use is called Snowball. You could have heard about it. Snowball is clearing your debts starting with the smallest. Because there's something emotional, there's something logical, there's something good. There's a good feeling attached to clearing a loan or knocking off that debt. There's something that you feel. Meaning that if I have loans of 10 million, 2 million, and 500,000, I'll start with the 500,000 loan. So as I knock it off, I'll get excited to warm up for the 2 million loan. Thereafter, I'll warm up for the 20 million loan, gradually, irrespective of the interest rate on those. A case might arise when the loan facility of maybe 20 million is at at 24% per annum, and the one of 500 is maybe at 9% per annum. So ideally, it doesn't make sense to start with the one with the low interest rate and then disregard the one with high interest rate, because it's a cost on your side. But there's something that there's a feeling that you get, there's that encouragement that you get, there's that emotional gear up that you get when you clear that loan facility. Rather than intending to clear the big one and then you struggle along the way, you get frustrated and even end up failing to clear all the loans. Because some of those loans have emotional attachments. For example, if you got money from the girlfriend you're dating, or perhaps from your mom or from some other person you hold in high esteem, you'd want so much that you clear that loan facility as fast as you can, so that you can be in good books with that person based on the category of the friendship you have with the person, based on the relationship that you have with the person. Now, most if it is if you're dating and it's your girlfriend or boyfriend, you wouldn't want that to compromise the relationship that you have. You wouldn't. So it would be better that, irrespective of the interest rates, just use that approach. Knock off the loans that you have emotional attachment to. Knock off the loans, the smallest ones, as you pick momentum. As you pick momentum to progress and knock off bigger loans. And in a way, it will protect your integrity, but also to improve on your credit rating, and you'll have the energy to progress. You'll have the energies to progress and hit the other top-notch loan. So that's one of the methods. The other method is called avalanche method. And this is really logic. You approach the loan facility with a high interest rate. If you have a loan of maybe 5 million, 10 million, 15 million, and the one of 15 million is at 20% per annum, and the one of 5 million is at 5% per annum, you knock off the first one because it has higher interest rate. It adds up the math. So just like I shared, there's an opportunity to apply the genius of the and, as was coined by Jim Collins in his book, Built to Last. You can first knock off using the first method, which is Snowball, and then after healing those emotional loans, the loans that you have with those close friends or that people you hold in high esteem, then you can follow the protocol of the ones with high interest rate, because there you'll have even the energy to knock off the loans. So those are the two methods I wanted to share with you that you can actually use to clear your debts. And then finally, before I close, there's an opportunity for maybe being forgiven of that loan, but it's something you're holding on to. There could be a person, as you're indebted, but also there are people who owe you some money. And you feel within your spirit that, forgive that person, or clear that loan, or forgive that loan. Write it off. Call the person, tell them the loan is written off. Just like that. It has ever happened to me. You feel in your mind, in your conscience, there's a voice of the Lord telling you, you know what? That loan, no. Call the person and call it off. Even when you're highly indebted, you're very sure that if that person paid, or if that company paid, if that colleague paid, that money would do a great stride in your life. It could help you settle some particular loan somewhere. So you become hesitant. Do I clear off? Do I forgive this person? Do I write it off? Do I not? Please, listen to the voice. Because you do not know. Whereas you forgive a loan of 5 million, someone might write off your loan of maybe 25 million. Again, you should follow your conscience. I don't infringe it on you. It's not that if you apply it, this will happen. No. It's a disclaimer. You have to feel it in your conscience. It's not the condition. You know what? Based on what I had, if I forgive a loan of 5 million, the one that I have of 20 million will be forgiven on my side. No. But one thing I'm sure of, if you listen very well to the voice of the Lord, and it tells you, forgive that person, write off that loan, please pay heed to that voice. Because you're going to experience something amazing. The debts that you have might even be cancelled or forgiven of you. So listen to your spirit. Listen to your spirit. The other key pertinent thing is that if you're on the side of a person whom they owe money, or someone owes you money, have an open mind. Some people are honest, some people are good, and they just need time. Just like I shared, I have a money lending company, and we give money up to about 150 million to any particular individual. But there are some clients that we've encountered. The person is of good spirit, the person is really good, the person is genuinely not progressing very well as of then. And you actually have to sit down with them and guide them, and they progress eventually and they pay you. So it's no longer harass, call, police, what? Conflicts might not, such an approach might not solve the problem. But if the person is committed and very willing, sit down with them. Because the intention is not to take away the security. The intention is not, your interest is money. You gave him money, you want the money with the interest. If he gives you security of maybe 150 million and you gave him 50 million, don't use that as an opportunity just because someone is in a fix and you take away that security. And that's why us who own money lending companies, there's an image, there's a connotation that they've attached to money lenders. Eh? They call them even loan sharks. But there are people who do it differently. The ultimate intention is not to seize someone's property, but rather sit down with them, work out a way with them, and eventually when they thrive or when they progress, they pay back. So it's one approach that has really worked for me, miracles. Especially on good clients. Clients who do not switch off their phones. Clients who do not make their phones busy just because they owe you money. So it's good that even if you owe someone money, sit down with them. Show them the plan, how you intend to pay. And the methods of payment I shared above can actually help you as you draft your plan on the repayment. Start with those loans, show him, I have this and this. Open up. Open up with the person. It's just a person like you. Open up with the person, share your plan with them, show them how you intend to knock them off gradually, and you see if the person will not. Be patient. So, just like I shared above as I conclude, two key things you have to note. They are more like action points. If you earn less money, or if you do not earn at all, and you have obligations to meet, you have expenditures to meet, you have to look for an income in one or the other. You have to look for an income stream. And look out for the video I shared before, and then you learn one or two things that could help you have an income stream. So you have two things to do: either increase your income or reduce on your expenditure. Or you can do both. That's an action point if you have to build wealth. Because if you're still indebted, it will be very, very hard to build wealth. If you have debts, it is hard to build wealth. And the debt I'm talking about now is a debt where you get money to consume it. If you're indebted, it will be very hard to build wealth. It will not give you freedom to think about bigger things, big dreams, visions, if it is something that you have to work out in repaying that loan or that debt, which you very know that you consumed, which you very know that you spent, maybe on a luxury or something. You know, if you spent it somewhere that is not vivid. But if you got that facility to invest in business and it's progressing, you have something to show for it. You have something to show for it. And you'll not be under pressure. But at a personal level, it will disorganize you, it will curtail your progress to realize your purpose and your vision and the dream that you have for your life. And you cannot do bigger things. So first thing first, you have to be debt-free. Then you can start thinking of accumulating wealth. Strive to get debt-free. Because what you focus on expands. If you focus on clearing your debts, you'll definitely clear them. What you focus on expands. If you focus on increasing your income streams, no doubt they'll increase. Because you look for avenues on how to increase them. Even if it means coaching, even if it means buying books online, even if it means listening to some financial talk or something, even if it means learning a few principles here and there, even if it means drafting a budget or a plan, you'll do it. Because you'll have focus. And what you focus on will expand. And if you're living large, you're living beyond your means, you're earning 1 million, but you live like someone who earns over 10 million or 15 million, then you need to check up. Because even if you increase your income streams, you still will not satisfy the demand that you have, the expenditure that you have. So you look out for my talk on budget. You need a budget to minimize your expenditure as you strive to increase your income streams. Finally, as I conclude, take those action points, consider them, and you'll see great progress. Look out for those videos in case I share, and you subscribe. You'll keep getting updated on the next topic, and you'll automatically be notified even if you don't watch live that there's a video that you can learn one or two things. My goal, my ultimate goal is to help you and to help ourselves by sharing these principles. If you learn one or two things and implement them, I'll be very glad. Because I know that if it's a principle, whether you believe or not, and you apply it, you'll progress. I also shared the website. We have coaching sessions with some of my colleagues. We move with you, we walk with you the journey till you progress to another level. Because it's our joy that we progress to another level. I shared the website on this very video above. You look it up and see maybe what you can take on, what you can learn from there. And I'll be very glad if you get to a next step. Apart from that, we have recorded YouTube videos and my Facebook page. Thank you, and thank you for listening in. God really bless you. Just inbox in case you want to ask anything. I'm open because my intention is to us getting financially free. Time is now to get financial freedom to progress to another level. And if you just can pick one or two principles and apply them and they work for you, I'll be very, very excited. And I will not have wasted my time to come here and share with you. Thank you so much. Have a blessed evening. Thank you.